Our final honorary degree recipient and our special guest speaker this morning is S&P, Standards & Poor's Global President and CEO, Martina Cheung. Ms. Cheung has served as president of S&P Global Ratings and as the executive lead of S&P Global Sustainable 1. Prior to that, she was president of S&P Global Market Intelligence and held a series of other leadership roles since joining S&P in 2010. Ms. Cheung is a highly respected figure in the corporate world. Barron's, for example, recognized her as one of the 100 most influential women in U.S. finance in 2025. American Banker named her one of the most powerful women in finance. In 2024, the global consultancy network Involve named her to its 100 Empower Executives list for the second consecutive year. She holds a bachelor's degree in commerce and a master's degree in business studies from National University of Ireland in Galway. We're thrilled to have her with us here today to share her insights with the George Mason University class of 2025. Please welcome S&P Global President and CEO Martina Cheung. Martina? By the authority vested in me by the Board of Visitors of George Mason University, I confer on Martina Cheung the honorary degree of Doctorate of Humane Letters with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. Congratulations.
Oh my goodness. Hello, thank you so much, Greg, and thank you so much, Rector Stimson. It's incredible. It's incredible to be here and to share this day with you. Boards of visitors, deans, faculty, staff, distinguished guests, family, friends, and graduates. What an honor. As graduates, I'm not going to be the first person to say this today, but let me be the loudest to say it. Congratulations, class of 2025. Look at where you are today. Think of how far you've come. You made it. But I trust you realize you didn't get here all by yourself. If you look into the stands, look to your left, look to your right, find the parents, the friends, the relatives, the classmates who helped you get to this point. And I invite you now to give them a big round of applause for the roles they played in helping you get here. So class of 2025, I was thinking a lot about what I would share with you today, and I kept coming back to something. Now, I know the unofficial rule of commencement addresses is to not use cliches, but I do want to discuss and dissect one with you. It's said that you should always look before you leap. I think that advice is woefully inadequate. It doesn't specify where you should look, when to look, or even what you should look at. So let me fill in the picture for you a little bit. I suggest you look in 3 directions. First, look around you. Second, look far ahead. And third, look inside. So let me take you a little bit through each of these. First, looking around. Seeing what's next to us, not just what's before us, gives us the ability to see adjacencies, expand our thinking, open all kinds of new possibilities. You're graduating, so you're thinking about what's way down the road. But if you don't look at what's here right now, you might miss something. Apply this approach when you leave today. Most people think of their careers as a ladder. They see the goal as climbing the ladder with promotions or leaving one job to take a bigger one elsewhere. The truth is, moving up is not the only direction, and it's not even always the best direction. Sometimes it's the lateral move. 3 years ago, I made a lateral move. I'd been working for a few years as the president of our market intelligence division. I had a great team. The job was rewarding. I absolutely loved it. And then our former CEO, Doug Peterson, asked me to serve as the president of our credit rating agency. It wasn't a promotion. It wasn't a move up. And I can tell you that when I was a kid, I wasn't thinking, when I grow up, I want to be the president of a credit rating agency. But you know, I took it because it was an amazing opportunity. The move exposed me to different customers, a whole new set of colleagues. I had the opportunity to meet regulators and policymakers all over the world, and these are all people that were important when I did move up. And looking back now, I realize leading 2 divisions instead of 1 actually better prepared me for becoming the CEO. So the lesson here is don't collect promotions, collect experiences. That's going to make you smarter, better prepared for what comes next. And it'll give you a more reliable gut sense of what you ought to do when the answer isn't especially clear. Because I collected experiences and I took lateral moves, there aren't many challenges that I see these days that I haven't navigated in some way before. Although if someone can explain whether rubbing George Mason's toe over in Wilkins Plaza actually does bring you good luck, I'd love to hear it. Look, the bottom line is, if something's interesting, go for it. Don't worry as much about the pay or the prestige. If it captures your attention, your passion, it's going to get you where you want to go faster. Now, vision not only opens you up to lateral moves, but it also gives you a window into the benefits of taking on new assignments. Renowned American virologist Dr. Jonas Salk said, "The reward for work well done is the opportunity to do more." That'll work for you too, and unlike Dr. Salk, you don't have to cure a disease to prove it's true. The added work may not come with extra pay immediately, but I promise you, it expands your own vision in a way that can be golden. During my 15 years at S&P Global, I took on several special assignments that were more than my day job. In 2015 and 2020, my boss asked me to lead the due diligence on the 2 largest acquisitions in our company's history. It was on top of my day-to-day responsibilities, but I looked at these opportunities for professional growth and development. I met new people outside my network, and I was able to develop what I like to think of as an enterprise mindset. Not being siloed in your own thinking in your own group, but rather having an attitude of delivering value across the entire organization. These projects required us to merge separate companies, distinct cultures, and different leadership teams, and that taught me another very valuable lesson. Mergers and acquisitions can be stressful events. Opinions can differ about strategies, synergies, and value. Assuming the person on the other side of the table has good intentions can help you lower the temperature and work towards your shared goals. So that's what you can learn looking laterally. With that established, let me tell you my second point, the value of a long-term view. Having a long-term view allowed me to envision my future from across an ocean. I left Ireland in 2000 to come to the US. I was so proud when I became a US citizen. But I was sitting where you are today. I might not have known that this was exactly where I would wind up, but I was thinking about the life I wanted to shape and the type of work I wanted to do. And in the US, I saw opportunities to work on exciting consulting projects for companies who are global leaders in their field. I'm a long-term thinker and a lifelong learner. And I wanted to be at the heart of innovation, technology, and value creation across many industries. And I'm proud that I've contributed to the American economy. In the 6 years since I joined the S&P Global executive team, our company has returned nearly $28 billion to our shareholders in the form of dividends and share repurchases. That money has gone into the 401k accounts of workers saving for retirement. And we've supported tens of thousands of companies to help them grow their business, invest in new opportunities, and support employees and their families. For me, this is very meaningful. I think it's a really valuable part of the American dream. Now, by the way, speaking of long-term vision, if you don't have a job lined up yet, which I realize is not such an issue for George Mason because so many of you are so valuable, but just if you're not ready in a job yet, don't let it scare you. Start somewhere, start anywhere. Figure out your long-term goal. Give yourself permission to change it if your experience leads you to do that. Taking a longer-term view can free up your thinking to take those lateral moves because you understand that they're learning experiences and it gives you permission to really start anywhere. When I was a teenager, I started working at my father's restaurant, and I can say it wasn't glamorous, but it was, and it certainly probably wasn't what I had in mind over the long term, but it was a great place to start. I learned about product quality, service excellence, and customer loyalty. And these values still drive me today. My long-term view was a little different back then. Things changed for me, and things will change for you as well. Like, your career is going to span decades. when you come to a crossroads, stop and ask yourself, where do I want to be 5 to 10 years from now? And what can I do over the next 2 to 3 years to help me get there? This can help you decide in some way which direction to take. The third important skill I encourage you to hone is introspection. Be honest with yourself. As you look within, also ask someone else for honest feedback and tell them you want a candid assessment, not just encouragement. When you leave here today, find others who can help you. Look for mentors, people who are good at what they do and enjoy what they're doing. They can be relatives, professors, professionals, entrepreneurs, and then just ask, will you be a mentor for me? Can I come to you for advice? Don't be afraid to ask, just like that. Most of them will be flattered. It's a pretty high honor to be asked to help figure out somebody's life. And then importantly, you have to make sure you make the relationship mutually beneficial. And what I mean by that is that it shouldn't just be one-way learning from the mentor to the mentee. You might be surprised that mentors are going to learn from you too. You're smart, you have incredible talents, interesting experiences, and a George Mason education to boot. It means you have something valuable to contribute. You may be very proficient in a topic where your mentor knows very little about. The people you're seeking out will benefit from your perspectives, as well as you benefiting from theirs. And I'll let you in on a secret. You never outgrow needing a mentor. Even CEOs have mentors. Taking time to reflect, acquiring new perspectives, and thinking about self-improvements are critical life skills. On this day 25 years ago, Peter Drucker, a management consultant, and a very good one at that, said something at the time that was like, it was just beginning to be clear. He said, knowledge is our main resource, and knowledge workers are the main part of the workforce. Now, some people think that Gen AI is going to upend that. I beg to differ. The truth is that the set of interests, perspectives, and passions that define your mental landscape creates an intellectual curiosity that's yours alone. It's unique to you. It's like a fingerprint. It can't be duplicated or imitated, and it can't be captured by silicone or software. So critical thinking matters. Look within, because no one else will have exactly the perspective that you have, not now or ever. One of the keys to success now and in the future is to never stop learning. People need to learn skills of all kinds, and part of self-reflection is being intellectually curious. In practice, that means learning everything you can about topics that you're passionate about or topics that intrigue you. For me right now, it's Gen AI. At S&P Global, Gen AI is a great enabler. It helps us to be more productive. It helps us to enhance our products for our customers. And it helps us to identify new partners and look at how we can use Gen AI to really help develop our products. The most successful people that I know are lifelong learners, demonstrating precisely why they're successful. Today may be the end of your formal education, but it's just the start of a process of accumulating the knowledge, capabilities, and relationships that will serve you well for the rest of your life. Over the course of your lifetime, you're going to be inundated with information. Some of it will be trustworthy, some of it will be noise, and you'll learn over time to pay attention to whom and to what to take on board. I think the important thing is to be open-minded about feedback and keen on hearing from a diverse set of voices, and never stop learning. Now, in the days and years ahead, you're going to face difficult challenges and difficult choices, and when that happens, pause, spend a little bit of time between when the question comes and what your reaction or response is. Just take a moment. Remember how to look before you leap. Look around you, look ahead of you, and look within. This will give you the vision to clearly see the path ahead. Class of 2025, congratulations. I wish you so much success, and I'm so excited to see what you do next. Thank you.